Hey, Forcini Witano here, the world's busiest horsefucker boyfriend, coming to you with an EP extended play review, requested by my good friend Brendan from the Not Bohemian Grove podcast I'm on. Check it out. It's the album Anatolia by Feed Me Jack, Brendan's favorite EP. I'll be upfront here, I have very specific taste, and it's the stuff you hear in my videos. I'm not the most varied music listener in the world. My dad is, though, and he's the one with this music system here. We got a record player, a bunch of vinyls, a 5-disc changer that's pretty fucking cool. He has a lot of CDs and just plays through 5 of them on loop, a cassette player, a whole bunch of vinyls and CDs down there. It's pretty good. I never reviewed music before and don't have the right, vocabulary to do so, but I'll do my best to review this album. Feed Me Jack has a nice, chill, what I think is math rock. I don't listen to a lot of math rock, but from my limited exposure, the impression I get is that math rock is like the jazz form of rock. The melody and mood is constantly changing, very complex compositions. I assume that's why it's called math rock, because music is math and it's a lot of fucking math homework to remember these melodies by heart. So much like when you listen to jazz, you listen to math rock when you're just kind of chilling. A lot of the chill, IDM, down-tempo electronica I listen to can have complex melodies, but are very repetitive and easy to follow, easy listening. And despite being chill, math rock isn't easy listening because it's hard to follow. I don't know, I'll start off by saying that yes, I did like this album. I like the journey it took me on, and it definitely changed a lot over the course of its runtime, which is good. First listen, I was like, hard to follow, all the same, but I listened to the entire thing 7 times and then definitely had an emotional narrative to tell that was relatable to me. It is 6 songs long and I'll be going through each one. First on the list is Night Fork. It has a nice beginning that felt like the band was warming up to go through a bunch of noises before beginning for real. The song definitely felt like the single, the song most likely to play on the radio, which can be good or bad. A lot of times the single is the best song of the album, but in this case, out of the entire EP, the feeling of being the most radio playable actually held it back from the greatness of the rest of the EP. It was the most standard song on here. The lyrics didn't really stand out to me, it just felt like radio song lyrics, and unfortunately for me, it felt too vague for me to relate to it. It describes feeling confused or lost or needing to find your place in a relationship, at least for me it did. But the math rock here didn't match how I would feel in that situation in the lyrics. It's too happy and groovy, which would tell me he's past that, and that's nice. It's still a good song, and if I heard it on the radio I would stay, but compared to the rest of the EP, not super connecting with me. But luckily it does pick up with the second song, Definitely You, which is my favorite song here. It begins very fucking clean and relaxed. The lyrics stand out to me this time, and I'm following it with the sweetest groove, I'm feeling it. Then it goes down a bit in energy and comes back with more live-esque humming and a great fluttering build-up that opened up 3 or 4 of my chakras. It begins with a feeling of just relaxing, being in love, and then goes through a whole bunch of those kind of emotions and a real emotional journey. When you search up Feed Me Jack on YouTube, it is the first song they suggest, so it's like the most popular song according to YouTube, and deservedly so. The third song is Open. I connected the lyrics again, even more than Definitely You. I interpreted it as trying to, fight that fear of opening up to someone and having to change yourself and going through change in that relationship, and the music gave me that feeling. So good synergy, good shit. I felt the song. Later on, it quiets down and you feel that vulnerability he's giving. Good song for feeling that way. I like it. It ends again with a live-esque garage feel as you just hear the band singing the melody to the next song. It leads into nicely, the fourth one, which is just da 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 da, or da 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 da. It's a shorter song here at about a minute long, and I would describe it as the EP's interlude. It probably has the most memorable, yet simple melody here, and it's all instrumental, except with a little bit of echoing from the chorus of Open, a little bit of another window, another way out, which is why I can't even consider it its own individual song. It's like a bridging point and a halfway point in the EP that gives you some downtime before the heavier and more melancholy half of the EP. Good fucking interlude. Nothing specific comes up for me other than just chilling, just relaxing and enjoying, what's all about to come crashing down in the 5th song, Bearing Stone. Now here is where the actual narrative being told throughout the EP becomes clear and unignorable. It jumps to merrier math rock and becomes sad rock. It takes me on an emotional journey like the second song, Definitely You, but rather than building me up, it tore me down. The lyrics speak of losing someone, which I assume is the person he's been in love with this whole EP and singing about, and I think on my second listen, I kinda felt a bit of water in my eyes. Never again, but I felt it, man. I wasn't even grasping the narrative of the EP yet, but I felt it. A lot of the ambient noises and stuff reminds me of kinda like the little details that stick in your mind after a traumatic event. Ends up him asking what he would say, how would he know, all that. It's my second favorite song here, the third favorite being a fusion of Open and the interludes, as I basically consider them the same song. And this is where the EP gets hard for me to relate to, which is the last song and my least favorite song, Chapel Perilous. This song has to deal with the depression and eventual acceptance and moving on from losing someone, which is very fucking difficult to convey effectively for any musician, even the best of them. And unfortunately for me, I didn't feel it. I didn't relate or connect with it past the first two verses, which was good at connecting and conveying the feeling it was going for, but then it keeps repeating that you've gotta let it go, and it ends with the thought that you gotta let it go. Before I got the narrative of this EP and was just listening to the melody itself and not really the lyrics of the story, I didn't feel this song, melody-wise, and once I did get a narrative, I was still disappointed because the narrative didn't justify the song either. I get the internal voice telling you that you gotta let it go and it's all in your head, but I felt like it still could have been conveyed in this style, in this math rock, what it feels like, but I didn't get it here. I thought the first song, Nightfork, was just the most normal and least interesting, but I still felt it. I still felt what they're going for. Words fail me here because I can't really explain why I didn't connect to it. It didn't feel like an ending, which you could say is the point. You could say the intention was to convey that the singer never did let it go, and much like the song, he was just left repeating to himself and being sad forever. But even still, I just didn't feel it or like it. Plain and simple. If this EP cut off this last song, it could have been great all around. You know, if it fixed the song and actually conveyed, you know, what I felt like I wanted from that feeling, it could have been a fucking 8, you know. But I'm just left going back to the songs 2 through 5, skipping the first and last song on future repeats. Throughout being told I gotta let it go in the last song, I'm still lingering on how you were insatiable in the 5th song. Maybe I'm just not the type of person that can deal with losing someone in the way that this guy does, because everyone deals with those kind of things differently, and I just don't deal with it the same way this guy did. I don't know. So in conclusion, this EP definitely took me on a journey from beginning to love, to really falling in love, to fighting, to losing to, and unsatisfied letting go. The math rock is good, but honestly just not my taste. I prefer music that's a bit easier to follow. I'm sure you want a rating, but since I most likely will never get a music review again, I'll do you better. I'll show you what I put on every single number from 1 to 10 so you can grasp my music taste. So, on my music rating system, we got the 10s. Geo Gotti by Boards of Canada, Few Old Tunes Volume 1 and 2, Crystal Castles 1, Pip Pain by Metronomy. 9s. Pretty much everything else by Boards of Canada, Crystal Castles 2, the Doe Deer EP and all their bootlegs, Crystal Castles 3 and Amnesty are 8s. Nights Out and English Riviera by Metronomy, Robot Face by Caravan Palace in the low 9s. 8s are fucking Aphex Twin, Maximum the Hormone, Mindless Self-Indulgence, New Year's Day at Disneyland, Daft Punk, with the albums Discovery and Random Access Memories being low 9s. And the low 8s are Paris Stellar, 07, Goldfish, and the Hotline Miami 1 and 2 soundtracks. So this EP is not my taste as anything I just mentioned, so it's gonna go in the 7s. But don't be upset, the 7s are a good place to be. Look, in the 7s we got Queen, Bees Gees, Marilyn Manson, Nirvana, Nutri-Milk Hotel. Look dude, you are a solid 7, so don't feel bad. You beat the ones in the low 7s, Skrillex and Death Grips, but you can't beat like Immortal Technique, Aesop Rock, Michael Jackson, and New Jack Swing, which are all high 7s, because New Jack Swing is fucking lit! Also a solid 7 is Jazz. Just Jazz. In the 6s, we got the Beatles, Felix Hart's taste in music, classic hip-hop, classical, and nightcore. 5s, we got the most meh of all music, vaporwave. There are exceptions, but for the most part, all the amateur vaporwave is just meh incarnate for me. Special mentions going to Simpsons Wave, which is a 4. Fuck Simpsons Wave. And you share a number with my girlfriend's taste in music. LMAO! Get fucking wrecked, the love of my life! Get nay-nayed. You just got nay-nayed on YouTube. 3s, that's all the heavy bass mumble rap, you know. Nomina, 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 hiddy hoodie huddy. Yeah, it's all the same. 2s, that's pop music and everything over 5 years old that's still played on the radio. That includes all the female singers with the exception of Lady Gaga, who's like a 6. So, Katy Perry, Miley Cyrus, Madonna, Adele, any slow guitar bullshit like Karma Police, American Pie, I'm not sick, but I'm not well. Also, the music that my cousin unironically has on his iPhone, like, I don't care, I love it. He fucking sings along to that when it's played on commercials, oh my god. He likes the song, Gonna love myself, I don't need anybody else. And the one song I was like, you are beautiful, you no matter what you say. You know, it's fucking garbage music. And the ones are stuff that really shouldn't be considered music, but it's called that. So like, harsh noise, super duper ambient drone, passengers of shit, which is simultaneously a 1 and a 6. Very special music there. And the 0s are audio of people dying or being raped. That's a 0 for me. If you want me to rate the soundtrack of your snuff film made of human suffering, I'll rate it a 0. I don't like listening to that. So, that is my music scale. I hope you can grasp my taste in music now and understand that on my scale, Anatolia by Feed Me Jack is a solid 7. Right here. Good job. I was paid $10 to make a video reviewing this. If you want me to review your music, or videos, or movies, or games, or your writing, just, if you want to review your fucking fanfiction, I'll do that. Just message me and we can work something out price-wise.